Hey guys, Bix Weir, road2ruta.com, coming to you from the Forerunner. Very exciting. We're actually planning a big trip starting next week to various sites that I've been studying within the Grand Canyon, and going to get some hands-on experience. No, I don't think I'm going to be able to get my feet on the ground at the secret Egyptian caves or on the ground at the gold seam or the military base or anything like that. I don't have that kind of expectation. If it happens, hey, the more the merrier, but as we all know, they've had 100 years to hide that stuff, and it's not too hard to hide it. But I do know people who have been to the military base, and we've done the remote viewing of the Egyptian caves, and we have the verbal history from the Native American Indians that's where they originated from, Sapapapoo. And I absolutely believe that to be fact. I think there's a lot of evidence that backs it up. As far as the gold, there's tons of evidence. And one of the things we're going to be doing on this trip is looking at that evidence. Is it real? Are these people real? Did they really create this gigantic steamship and in California, in San Francisco, and then ship it out to the middle of the desert to put in the middle of the Colorado River for no reason? Did it really happen or did it not happen? I do plan on visiting that steamship, the remains of it, because it's still exactly where it was tied up after Woodrow Wilson said, we're going to lock up the Grand Canyon, we're going to lock up the gold, we're going to create the Federal Reserve, and at some point in the future, we're going to open it back up if we need gold in our monetary system. Absolutely true. So Amy and I are going to be trotting around in the desert for a while, and we'll give you updates from the road. Lots going to go on the new Patreon channel. Go to Road to Ruta Patreon and sign up there to get that information. That's going to be really fun. And I do know some people on the ground there. I know some people who are involved, can get me on a boat. I know a boat captain, and there's not many. I think there's like 4 or 5 people who are licensed to run a boat on the Grand Canyon. I'm going to try to work that angle, see how far I can get. No word on that yet, but if I can get to the spot I want to get to, which is the confluence of the Colorado River and the Little Colorado River, then I'll be, stone's throw away, within 5-mile radius of all this stuff. And I just think that'd be so cool. And then I'll try to, if anybody can hook me up in that area, I think we're starting in around Flagstaff and moving on up. And then we'll go to Lee's Ferry, and anybody with connections within the Grand Canyon, or anybody connections within the Navajo Nation, hit me up, Bix at road2ruta.com, because any connections are good when you're trouncing around in the desert. Some other things we'll be looking at there have to do with potentially we'll go down to Chocolate Mountain, the gunnery range that's cordoned off. A lot of our driving is going to be through federal lands, like the National Desert Wildlife Reserve and things like that, that are pretty much locked up for mining, but there's a lot of exploration that can be done. So we'll be checking that stuff out. It's just going to be really fun, a Southwest adventure. Amy and I get to spend time together on the road, which is always cool. We don't have an RV yet. This would have been the perfect trip for our 4-wheel drive RV, the Land Roamer. When we get it, that's one of those treats that you put out in the future. It's like, okay, if I place my investments well and things are going well, this is how I'm going to treat myself. No, not a Lamborghini or a Ferrari. It's going to be an RV, a 4-wheel drive RV, a really cool one. The better we do, the better the RV I'm going to get. Yeah, that's my high goal, right? So it's going to be a real adventure, and I'm excited about that. I'm going right now to pick up a roof tent for the car. And if you guys haven't checked that out, because I get tired of setting up a tent or finding a hotel room and all this. So they got these things that are car roof tents. So they basically, it's a platform that goes on top of your car, and when you're ready to, you'll pull over and set up camp, you just fold the thing down, it pops up, and it has a ladder that comes down, and you have a tent set up on the top of your car, which is kind of cool. Amy gets a little freaked out about all the creepy crawlies on the ground. So I think it you know, that'd be a great thing. And so I bought one, and we're going to get it right now. I don't know how hard it is to install, but I will give you an update on that. I'll take some pictures of what it looks like, and I think it's going to be really cool. So we will be fully equipped in this rig for our adventures. We'll probably bring an extra 5 gallons of gas in case we get into an area that we're like, oh my God, we're not in the city anymore. Where the hell's a gas station? So yeah, no, it is not planned out massively. It's one of those things like you take your wife or you take your family, you throw them in the car and say, hey, we're going to go for a drive into this area. And we haven't set up hotel rooms or anything other than, you know, we got a map and certain things I want to see and certain things she wants to see. So we're going, and it's going to be very exciting. So keep an eye out for those videos. As far as what's going on with the cryptos, looking really good. Litecoin and Litecoin and Litecoin. All I have to say is Litecoin, Litecoin, Litecoin. Everything that's happening right now with Charlie Lee is turning into the perfect storm for Litecoin to absolutely take the lead role out of all the cryptos. All the cryptos. Now, I do see Litecoin going higher than Bitcoin as far as market cap. Potentially as far as price as well, which would be even better, because Litecoin is a lot more useful than Bitcoin is, especially extremely more useful if it implements Lightning Network, which is exactly what Charlie Lee is planning to do. And that's part of the reason why he sold his Litecoin, is because he knows that Litecoin is going to be the go-to means of exchange when the banks go down, and the banks are going down. Mark my words. Deutsche Bank, JP Morgan, Citibank, those too big to fail banks are on the brink of disaster already. All it takes is Deutsche Bank. Keep an eye on Deutsche Bank. Keep an eye on Deutsche Bank. The problem now with Deutsche Bank is not only derivatives, but they have all kinds of sovereign debt in Europe. And how long would the bailouts go out from the EU? I don't know. But the EU is already struggling. The people hate their governance. And the whole Brexit is blowing up. Everybody in the UK is bailing because Theresa May isn't going through the proper motivations for her country to leave the EU. And if they don't leave the EU, they will be dragged down by the criminals that run it. And those criminals have one thing in mind: a one world government by hook or by crook. That's why they lumped all, I don't know how they got away with that, lumping all the countries of Europe together. People have destroyed their sovereignty. You lose the ability to print your own money, you destroy your sovereignty. That's what happened to the U.S. in 1913. That's what's happening. That's what happened to the EU, the countries within the EU, when they signed over their ability to print money. It is amazing that people don't think that far ahead, that unbacked fiat monetary systems actually do fail. And when they fail, or when you struggle, you got to have the ability to print your way out, because if you don't, you die earlier. And maybe that's a good thing, because if you print your way out, you're going to hyperinflate your currency. And then if you're in the U.S., you just rig the markets every day so that people don't know your economy is destroyed. So yeah, it's really interesting what's going on in Europe. But Europe will be the key. When Europe goes down, the banks go down in Europe, the banks are going to go down in the U.S. So just be ready for it. It's a big deal, big deal, big deal. Very big deal. And I hope everybody is ready for it. And now I'm getting stopped in the middle of the street. Yes, I will be removing myself from city driving in the very near future. We're going to go out in the desert. So I'll be happy to get out of the city. I'm kind of sick of the city right now. And we will send you as many videos and pictures from the sights and sounds of the Southwest, the Grand Canyon. Hopefully get to Chocolate Mountain, show you the gunnery range, show you all the trails around there. I know there's a 4-wheel drive trail that goes right by the mesquite mine, which should be interesting. So I will keep you guys informed. In the meanwhile, keep an eye on cryptos and get all the Litecoin you can, because Litecoin under $100, you're going to be laughing. You're going to be kicking yourself come December if you don't take advantage of this. But we will see, right? We will see. As everything, hodl on, my friends, and I'll talk to you later.